Hey guys, you're about to see the most expensive and unique watches on the planet. What about an octopus or a dragon on your dial? You should also check out these timepieces that were inspired by an actual Bugatti sports car and even a vintage aircraft. And those who travel a lot will appreciate the watch with 24 time zones. Just in case you have a spare $1,000,000, all the links to the products you'll find in the description below. This watch is sophisticated and unique in every single way. So instead of the traditional flat dial, it has these extremely eye-catching domes that display the hours and minutes. The entire mechanism is covered with a sapphire crystal case, and the battle axe winding rotor is made of gold and titanium. Both the rotor and the domes are coated with super luminova that provides that beautiful glow in the dark. And here's a secret feature: if you pour some light on the metal crown, it'll project the brand's famous battle axe. Overall, the accessory includes almost 300 details and 36 jewels. The watch comes in blue, purple, and turquoise colors. By the way, there are only 10 pieces in every color in the whole world, so you'll need about $160,000 to get one. Is this a watch or an alien spaceship? With its unusual shape, twin balance wheels, and planetary differential, this accessory is actually inspired by retro aviation. The stunning case combines sapphire glass and titanium along with red and white gold. On top of that, this thing includes over 50 jewels and 300 components. And unlike most other watches, the dial here is placed vertically. Super luminova highlights make it easy to read in the dark. Thanks to a special 3D gasket, the watch is fully waterproof. Although people who pay $450,000 for a watch don't really stand in the rain. There's a bunch of different colors to choose from, but all of them are ultra rare. It's an octopus watch, and it's one of a kind. The gorgeous sea beast is actually hand-engraved, so it takes more than 3 months to make it. Next thing you'll notice is the rotating diamond with an incredible 288-facet cut. And on the other side, there's a little spinning globe. The watch also features a triple-axis tourbillon along with a rose gold case and 42 jewels. So the $1,000,000 price tag shouldn't surprise you. Those millionaires who are into fantasy movies would probably get this dragon version. All the features are basically the same except for the dial. In this watch, it's fully covered with baguette diamonds. The dragon itself is made from rose gold and his eyes are red rubies. And here's the Imperial Red Dragon. The only difference is probably the color, but it's actually a big deal. Both color options are painted by hand, which takes about 40 hours. You know, rich people have their own toys. While most of the watches in this video cost as much as a supercar, this one was actually inspired by a supercar. Jacob & Co., in collaboration with Bugatti, managed to recreate the 16-cylinder engine in a timepiece. The movement of these pistons is incredibly realistic, and it took almost 600 details to achieve it. And aside from the engine, this watch has its own shocks and exhausts, the crowns. The incline flying tourbillon is another incredible detail that you won't find in any car. The price for the basic version is somewhere around $280,000. And we say basic because it doesn't have the baguette diamonds on the case. That'll cost you an extra $500,000. On top of that, there's this amazing sapphire crystal version that costs over $1,000,000. You know the watch is literally half the price of an actual Bugatti Chiron? Now the rubber strap looks kind of ridiculous. Should be dragon skin at least. Another watch in the Bugatti lineup is this twin turbo model. Featuring double triple-axis tourbillon and a chiming minute repeater, this mechanism includes over 800 parts. The time display is clearly inspired by pit boards, matching the whole sports car aesthetics. And the power reserve display is labeled 300+ to celebrate Bugatti's speed record, 304 miles per hour. Most watches show you the time and maybe the date, but this incredible timepiece goes far beyond that, featuring 4 different faces. The first face is a sleek dial with perpetual calendar and flying tourbillon. And then you literally flip the case over to discover the second dial. It also displays the time, but in a different way. The so-called jumping hours along with a chiming minute repeater. It plays different melodies depending on the time. Check out how it sounds at 1 hour and 5 minutes. Another face is hidden right inside the case, and the fourth one is placed on the back of the watch. They're designed to show you the moon cycles and phases in the most beautiful way. Although for $1.5 million, you could probably travel to the moon and back. This watch by Louis Vuitton is there to remind you that every moment matters. And it makes the point very clear with this golden skull, snake, and the little hourglass. The snake head on the case acts as a button that activates the whole mechanism. The snake on the dial moves its head and tail, revealing the time, and the skull opens its mouth. That's when you see Horace's famous words, Carpe diem, or seize the day. This important reminder will cost you $475,000, but of course, every single detail is engraved and enameled by hand. And the pink gold case doesn't come cheap. This watch by Hublot is a bit more simple, but still pretty amazing. At the very least, it boasts this extravagant curved shape. The case is obviously made of gold, but there's something special about it. Hublot developed a proprietary alloy called Magic Gold. Looks really nice and warm. And aside from the gold version, there's a huge variety of different colors and materials. Black carbon, the King Gold Rainbow, and many, many more. Also, the watch features a unique endless screw mechanism that ensures a 14-day power reserve. You'll see the remaining days right on the dial. And at the same time, this thing uses a rubber strap, a bold move for a luxury watch. It's also water-resistant, so you can wear it during workouts. The price tag for this one is about $90,000. Well, that's relatively affordable. And this watch was probably made for gamers. Now, at first glance, it looks fairly traditional. The gold, diamonds, and all that. But here's the coolest part. Both the dial and the diamonds around are actually glowing in the dark with multiple colors. Almost like RGB lighting in your PC accessories. Except this thing costs $215,000 and only 8 people can actually have it. When you run businesses all around the world, your watch must have more than a single time zone. So this one features a universal time display with 24 cities on it, from Dubai to Tokyo. And aside from that, there's a large main dial along with a rotating flying tourbillon that displays seconds. This tourbillon is double-sided, so the backside is actually no less amazing. In addition, the watch includes a moon phase display, which is also rotating. It looks especially great in the dark thanks to the luminescent material. As for the case, you have 2 options to choose from, red gold or the transparent sapphire. If you look from the side, it has this nice slope to it. This beauty will cost you about $390,000. And what about an entire planetarium right on your wrist? That's the actual name of this watch, which depicts our solar system. Not all the planets, though. The men's version includes 6 planets and the ladies' just 3, plus the moon. On the other hand, the ladies' version has much more diamonds, but what's really cool, each planet is connected to its own disk and moves at its true pace. That means Venus makes a full revolution in 224 days, while for Saturn it takes 29 years. Okay, but how would you tell the time? Just look at the shooting star. It replaces the regular hour hand. The men's model has another star engraved on the dial. That's for your lucky day. $250,000. That's all you need to buy a bunch of planets. Now let's check out another skull. Although it's a sign of death, it looks quite optimistic thanks to this rainbow palette. The dial is fully covered with a variety of multicolored gems, and superluminova coating glows with several different colors. And inside the skull, there are over 300 gold pins, along with the jaws, which are golden as well. So the $115,000 price tag sounds quite reasonable compared to the other watches. There are no hour or minute hands here. The time's displayed by a special liquid that flows inside the tube. And the seconds and power reserve are indicated right inside the eyes. This model by Jacob & Co. is called Billionaire for a reason. It's hard to tell the actual price, but it's rumored to be up to $18 million, which makes it one of the most expensive watches in the world. So aside from the incredible mechanism and tourbillon, this thing is just stuffed with diamonds. They're all over the case and bracelet, and these are the so-called Ashoka diamonds, which are extremely rare. There are about 200 carats in this watch. The bracelet is fully made of white gold, and then you have another huge diamond that acts as a crown. This watch isn't just a limited edition. It's actually one of a kind. We'd never know the name of the owner if Floyd Mayweather didn't brag about it on his Instagram. But if you want the Billionaire watch really bad, there's another version that's limited to 18 pieces. It's still super expensive, but here's the trick. The price of these watches rises roughly 7% every year. That's $1.3 million, so it isn't a waste of money. It's a smart investment.